G'day, guys. Got a lot of, what do we want to call it? We'll call it gossip because that's what it is. This is pure gossip, right? It may not be, but I think it is, hopefully. Um, Information on Minelab. Remember I said that there was something going on? Well, I've been had a few bits of information come in. So I might as well put it out there. Um, Minelab, this is speculative. I'm just going to say this is speculative because if they have some other um, corporate direction and I say something different, they won't like it and they'll go on the attack. They'll get their legal in-house counsel onto me or something like that. But we'll put all the usual disclaimers there. Okay, how about this is a satire and parody account. Um, will that cover it? No, this is just speculation and just gossip. And we'll just say for the time being, this is the best one of all. This is totally all untrue, right? So it's untrue. That's me telling you it's untrue. But so we'll talk about the untruths. I was going to be careful, okay? Um, what I hear is they are restructuring their business, and basically they're going to start getting rid of the smaller distributors um, who don't do many sales speculatively. Okay, that is the thing. It's going to become more corporate. If you, they'll hate me saying this, but if you go and have a look at the past financials of the detector operations, detector sales, or should I say, the overall profitability, it used to be very high and it is coming down. So maybe they're going to go to utilizing, notice how I say maybe they're going to be utilizing just maybe one big distributor in a state uh, and or more corporate stores. By doing that, well, they will retain greater profitability because you don't have to cut the lunch and give it to someone else. So, they may boost productivity and profitability that way and put a bit more money into overall advertising, whereas the dealers would be taking a fairly, uh, well, do they take a hefty? I've been told many stories about how much profit dealers take, and some of it makes a hair on the back of my neck stand up. But it might be all um, speculation. But I've been told all sorts of figures. Some of them were very high. Uh, like if they sold something worth 10 grand, they get a 3 grand cut. That is in line with the old 30% rule, but that's a lot of money um, to make on a one sale. Uh, the other thing as well, is my point of view, you know, you look at what real estate agents make on a house sale. Selling a house is not much different than selling a car. But that when they go in for the percentage, that's where they make the big bucks. Um, yeah, it mind boggles me that people are so crazy that they won't even sell their own house themselves. It's called advertising. It's really easy to do. You can list your own property. You save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars. Um, and you can build your own metal detector as well and save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm going to say a few little things, right? That I've noticed that there's PI detectors uh, ready to roll, turning up on eBay. I've seen them. I saw them today, first time ever. They are pulse induction detectors. I think they're around about the $450 mark. I don't know anything about them. Um, it said PI clone. It probably gives it away, doesn't it? Pulse induction clone. What detector could that be? Um, yeah, it's a clone of something. It may not be anything we even know. Maybe it's a clone of something from Russia or you know, even the Ukraine's bunging out detectors now. I thought the place was bombed. Don't know how that's happening, but um, yeah, there's clones around. Anyway, back onto the Minelab story. So yeah, the word is, and the word from people who may or may not know, and who may just be speculating or may know a little bit more, just telling me that they're just restructuring operations to try and get the profitability up. Like when I heard that they won't, um, certain spare parts you cannot get through dealers. They won't allow spare parts. They get audited. They have to send photos in of things smashed up and an axe for them and whatever else. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Now, the biggest bit of news, pure speculation. But I have said this, and I actually lent into this a while ago, and I said, wouldn't it be good if they can make a 7,000 that was lighter? And look in my previous videos where I've mentioned that they could make if they could make a 7,000, um, as light as a 6,000, that'd be really good. Now, on the grapevine, or we'll call it the speculative, don't know if it's true or not, grapevine, right? It's funny, all these grapevines have the same sound, but anyway, um, there's a new detector coming out this year. It's a lighter version. This is speculation, right? Unproven, but if it comes out, it'll be proven, won't it? Speculation's a lighter version of the GPZZ 7,000. So if that's the case, that'll be interesting, won't it? A lightened version. I've always said that the 7,000 was an absolute pig of a detector to use because of the weight and the amount of portable cranes you've got to attach to your body to hold the thing up in the air. So yeah, you don't dint the ground. No, I'm just joking, but yeah, it's heavy. I've said that many a time, but yeah, there's meant to be a lighter version of the 7,000 coming out, and the only thing I'm here, scratch head, uh, is the coil configuration that they do use a fairly hefty transmit winding in the detector, and yeah, I can hear someone at the front door, but I think it's just playing around, going in and out. Nothing. No, it's someone here, as in lives here. Um, so yeah, with the coils, how are they going to lighten the coil? Because if you lighten the detector, well, it's going to upset the balance. So if you've got a light detector and you've suddenly now got a heavy coil, uh, so they must have some way. They've gone, and I hope well, up to them. But in my personal opinion, I hope they haven't gone to using alloy and trying to coat it. Um, Maybe they have. I don't know. They could have. They could have. Well, the receive windings are very thin anyway. There's not much weight there. The overall structure of the coil, well, X coils, basically, um, you know, took on the market and had a great success by making lighter coils. Basically, lighter coils, smaller coils. They're just lighter. Filling up coils with resins and heavy stuff like that. Even though the 7,000. Okay, I've got to tell you about the 7,000 from what I know of it, what my observations are. Okay, you can't have any movement in any part of the electronics or the coil physically. If you have, it's got a coil in the middle, it's got two outriggers here, right? If you have anything move, the thing will go complete. It'll make noise. Okay, I'm going to say it's going to go crazy. It's going to be noisy. Okay. The other thing too, in the detector, the design, the plugs, cables, and all that stuff, you got to keep that pristine. I would clean all that stuff with a cotton bud and isopropyl alcohol. Just keep anything out of it, because when those transmit coil is energized, it has to be constant current. If it starts dipping or moving, it's going to make a lot of noise in the detector, right? Because it actually receives during the transmit period. So you know how it flip phases, one north, one south, north, south. It actually receives during the transition during the transition of north and south into each other. And that's why it's got the two coils there on the outrigger. Otherwise, it'll go really funny. I think what would it do if you didn't have the two coils? When you swung the detector into the Earth's magnetic field, it would go whoop and then whoop, and it would do that. Okay, Andy sending me some messages on something. No hurry on it. What do you want? Detector done? Maybe. I think so. I think that could be it. But I'll have to see what the messages are after this. They keep popping up on the screen. So yeah, that's why you got the outrigger coils. There is a way around that. Oh, this guy's He's just telling me he's coming back. He's coming this way from Talbot, so he's gonna drop in. Hang on a sec. How am I going to do this? I can't do messenger on this. Well, hopefully he just drops in. That might be the best bet. You know, if I fiddle with the phone, the video is going to go haywire. So, you know, have they cured or come up with a way of making a lighter coil? Probably along the lines of just smaller coils. I don't know. Maybe it's going to go to 6,000 sort of size coils, which are very light overall. And I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know. But, you know, I don't, in my opinion, I've got to say this, in my own humble opinion, I don't think the cure is going to alloy windings. I think that's got issues because of the resistance. The resistance goes up, and in all regard, you probably need to run higher output voltages for your transmit waveforms to overcome those losses and trying to get the energy in there and out quick. But you can use alloys. They use it on 220 kV power lines out there. But you run a lot of voltage to overcome the losses, don't you? But with these coils, I don't know. But it's all speculation. The light version of the 7000. Wow. If they actually get it right, and if it is real, we're going to say that. I can't say it's happening because imagine if I did. I'd actually said, "Oh, that's happening. This is coming out," and then people would be going, "How do you know?" I'll probably be, put on the stake with someone running around with a box of matches and some petrol and saying, tell us or else. But it's all hearsay. It's all speculation, and we can speculate on the price point too. And my speculation is $15,000 to $16,000. So let's hope there's a lot of gold still around. So yeah, that is the grapevine, 15 to 16K for this new detector coming out this year. I don't know what's happened with the Chinesey ones that was going to come out, which they said it was coming out in February. I haven't seen any on AliExpress or anywhere like that. That's where it would show its face. And I should have actually taken more notice of those PIs that are on eBay. It's called PI clone detector. There's not much info, it could be out of China. I didn't even really look. There's a lot of tiddly PI detectors coming out lately. I mean, God, it should have been done 20 years ago, 40 years ago. But, I think it took everyone 10, it took everyone decades to realise that there's good profits in making PI detectors for people who go hard on the gold. That's it. But no one ever really, lifted their finger. There's a couple out there that did, but it's no competition to Minelab. Minelab still make the best gold detectors there are. They still do. I don't run around using anything else. I just use Minelabs. If you want the best, buy a bloody Minelab. It's and I say I've got no affiliation with them whatsoever. They won't even sell me spare parts. So, I could give them the middle finger salute over that, but that's they're doing it to everybody. No spare parts, so um, bad luck. you know, most of the stuff's obtainable. The only thing I don't want to go into that either. I found out what's in the black modules on both detectors. By the way, I know exactly what's in there, and it's quite funny in a way because I've already discussed what's in there in a previous video, probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even longer. It's a concept I come up with. Hang on, I'll go try and time point it to when I came up with the concept. Oh no, it's a long time. It goes back into the late 2000s. It's to do with isolation anyway, but I'm not going to say too much about it because every other manufacturer will get onto it. But it's a way of just say it's a way of doing direct connection without blowing things up. But it's a very interesting idea. I did it in a different way than how it's being done now. You can do it with. Oh, I can find what you could do it with. I was playing around with. Maybe I'll put them in here. Dear me. No, I didn't. I don't know where I put them. Oh, I was gonna do it. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, you could do it with those, right? Partially do it with those. Basically, they are a center tapped high frequency. Well, they actually go down low frequencies to a few hertz transformer. So I've got some of those up there. You can also do it optically, but there's a lot of ways of doing a lot of things. The enemy on a lot of this stuff, it really makes life difficult. Is always the flyback voltage and getting rid of it. So there's ways to circumvent it. Put it that way. We've used those depletion mode MOSFETs that basically you can configure, and when the high voltage comes through, it basically gives itself a different biasing condition. It floats, but it turns itself off when high voltage comes, and when the high voltage is gone, it goes back to its normal on resistance state of a few ohms. That's good because you get rid of a lot of capacitance in the receive circuit by doing a floating front end. That's one way of doing a floating front end. Okay, but yeah, you can just use a couple of depletion mode MOSFETs and with a decent voltage rating. I think I've showed everyone I've done it before. I stuck it in a GPX or something. I had a little board sticking up. It's in one or 200 videos ago. I don't know where it is, but I built it. It works fine. If you want to do a depletion mode MOSFET self-switching input, it does have a little bit more resistance than using switched MOSFETs if you do the switch MOSFET way, which is now outdated because you can use what's in the black modules. The other thing is that, yeah, I'm just having a think. Yeah, I think about this stuff and I just keep coming up with ways of doing it. Um, it's I've come up with other ideas actually. Just think, it's funny. It's just the way my brain works. It just pulls stuff broadly, and because I know this works with that, works with this, goes with that, and and I'm looking for an end result, and I go, oh, that'll make that work. So yeah, um, it's all good fun. Now you probably saw in one of my shorts that I'm stepping over boxes and boxes of coils. Yeah, over the years we've built up so many different coils. A lot of experimental ones, lot ones that are really really good. But we had one special coil. This was tested by uh, people that have left certain companies, businesses, and yeah. Anyway, it gets curly. Some of that stuff, people are touchy. I'm not going to say any names, but they were tested. We had one coil, and it worked much better than every other coil on a red hot day. And we're talking, 100 degrees Fahrenheit and above, 42, 44 Celsius as well. Temperatures, well, I think it was those sort of temperatures on really hot ground. And we were trying commercial coils, and we had this particular coil, and it was black, as you might have seen. They're all black. It's not a good color unless you're living in Antarctica or somewhere, or Alaska or somewhere where it's cold. Don't use black coils. But we just got the ABS cheap, so we made them out of black just to test them. And most of our testing wasn't done on red hot days anyway. But on this particular day, when the parties were involved, we had one coil that outperformed all the other coils on a really really hot day. And on back analysis, uh, it definitely was. It's completely made differently. It's made out of different materials all round. I'm not going to go into it. It may be commercially sensitive at this point in time because it's run off with another group of people to be tested. So just say that, no names. So there might be something come out of that for really really good coils. You know, well, it depends on what happens, right? If it's going to be commercialized, well, I'm going to have to shut up. If it's not going to be commercialized, well, then I'll tell you all about it. Then you can make yourself some really good coils. But I think this coil design may be looked at to going somewhere where it's hot to be used in big numbers. So it is what it is. Um, what else is there? What else? What else? Well, there's something else. Yeah. So I'm being a bit of a what do the Filipinos call it when you do this? They call it marites or something. Marites means gossip. Blah blah blah. Um, I hear them saying it. They all do that. They say it when someone's gossiping about them. But yeah, it's like you ever watch those TV shows? Like what one was it? That Australian thing. They had Kylie Minogue. Hi mate, I'm about to come past Ballarat. Okay, I better kill this, and I better get on to Andy. So it's long enough. Yeah. Anyway, there used to be a woman who used to spy on everybody. Mrs Mangles was her name. Anyway, I've got to go. Catch us.